Welcome back to the Sports Source, the segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. A 50-year-old family business has an opening for a termite technician, folks. 50 years, that's how long this business has been around. That tells you how good Southeast Termite Pest Control are to work for. Good folks. So they got the termite technician available, and you get a company truck, retirement options, healthcare options. It's Monday through Friday only, no weekends, 8 to 5, and they'll train you, so you don't need the experience. It's hard to beat that. So you better call Southeast Termite and Pest Control, and they've only got one opening, the one opening. So call Southeast Termite and Pest Control first thing Monday morning. Get in touch with them, because I have a feeling that is not going to be open for very long. Termite technician available now with Southeast Termite and Pest Control, and I can tell you, the Haynes family are fantastic. All right, the Vols had two surprise departures. Well, one a bigger surprise than the other. When asked if he was surprised by Jonas Adu, let's go ahead and put this up there. When asked if he was surprised by Jonas Adu departing, by the way, he's being pursued by North Carolina, Baylor, and Kentucky. When asked if he was surprised he was leaving, Barnes said, yeah, because he had told everybody he was fine. When that happens, you just got to realize that maybe you've got a chance to remake a roster and maybe do it a little bit different. Maybe try to find a way to obviously try to make it better. But it's a different time right now in college basketball in terms of this month. Okay, it sounds like the door's closed, whereas with Tobe Awaka, there's a different mood here when he was asked about Awaka. We respected Tobe a lot, and we still do, but oftentimes we've had guys tell us that after they left, they've made mistakes, and sometimes in a rush in the moment, people can listen to people and realize that maybe they should have waited and thought it out a little bit more. But Tobe, obviously, we all respect him and love him for what he did for us, but if he feels he's got to go through that process, he needs to do it. But with that said, we're not going to wait, because we're going to move forward and build this roster as quickly as we can. It sounds like Adu, the door is closed. It doesn't sound like there's much love there in terms of following up on this. In terms of Awaka, it seems like there still may be an opportunity to throw that door open. My question for you guys, should they be pursuing Tobe Awaka as a priority? Because you still have 5 slots available. You had 6, you got Dubar. Let's say you get Milicic. All right, so now you got 4. Let's say you get Tyson. Now you got 3. You got all kinds of openings.
Yeah.
So do you look at a guy who's been here, a guy whose game you know, and you see some promise there? Do you make him a priority, or do you just close the door and do your own thing?
I'd make him a priority. I would want him back. Now, I know that playing time was an issue with him, and I think that he went into the portal because, with Adu leaving, there's more of an opportunity. Now, one reason his playing time was limited a little bit is he kept getting in foul trouble. So that was on him. However, I think with another year of experience, with his ability, he started showing some more offensive aggressiveness in some games down the stretch. I think he's a good fit for this team. I think he should be a priority, and I think Tennessee should try to keep him. They don't pay him $2 million a year, okay? But try to keep him.
Go ahead, it's not my money.
Yeah.
Pay me anything you like.
Then you might have a culture problem. Yeah. But, I think they should make him a priority, and I think he's a good fit for this team.
Right now, what does your post players look like without him? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's
Estrella.
You got some. Your cupboard is getting close to being bare. And has St. John's ever quit recruiting him? That's what I've heard out there. Is they keep showing him the love. So he's 6'8". He's improved. He can play. Playing time, he also, Jimmy, had the lower leg injuries, right? Going back to Hawaii, going back to in the tournament play. So he needs to stay healthy, too. But, yeah, I'd make him priority number 1 to get him back.
I would want him back if I'm Tennessee, so I would aggressively pursue. But
priority 1 or priority 2?
I would probably rather have Milicic over Tobe with what his offensive game is, more reliability. He's more proven, lower level, but in terms of the foul trouble is something Tobe has to improve on. He's not getting 25 minutes a game at the rate that he fouls, so he needs to improve there. But he's a guy, when we're talking about culture and fit and the work ethic it takes to be a part of the program, Tobe's a perfect fit in that regard. He needs to improve as a player, but I would think with time in this program, he would be a better player next year and would be really good for Tennessee.
I agree with John. I would put him behind Milicic in terms of your priority. And how does it time out is another question, too. What if you're showing Tobe the love and then Milicic commits to you and then Tobe's like, wait a minute, what's going on? I thought I had a chance to come back and be a starter. Or the other way around, do you lose Milicic because you brought Tobe back and he doesn't see an opportunity? So it's crazy how you have to play that without Tobe wanting to just blindly come
Look,
back.
if their feelings get hurt that easy, they probably shouldn't be playing major college basketball anymore.
Well, I got news for you
Yeah,
though.
that's-
With the portal,
that's
that
everybody.
that doesn't work anymore. I mean, that's an old timer type of thought that I would think as well. No, I mean, I don't mean you're an old timer. I mean, that's
I
an
know,
old timey
I
way of
know, I
thinking.
know.
That's pre-portal way of thinking. I feel the same way. It's like, are you ever going to weather any adversity and overcome something? No, I'm leaving because there's a buck. And now the NCAA has said you can transfer every year now.
Goodness
It's wide
gracious.
open. So
Goodness
the
gracious.
idea of anybody working through anything, and you hear the coaches say that, a lot of them talk about it. It's like, I don't know how you're going to raise these players as men because they're not used to sticking around anywhere.
And if they have options and they see that one
I can
spot,
play here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But here-
they're hearing the recruiting pitch on the other side as well.
Yeah. I guess my problem is he's got 5 slots available. All right, so you can only take Awaka or Milicic. Well, what can you do with the others? Or are they just useless because somebody's going to get mad? Oh, no. So you can really only have a team with 5 players?
Yeah.
Well, you're cutting into my playing
Well, he
time. I'm
wouldn't have to
leaving.
worry, Barnes wouldn't have to worry about
To
doing
make myself
playing
sound like an
time,
old
yeah.
timer. Yeah, that's kind of the deal, isn't it? I mean, you got 5 slots. These guys are going to play something.
Yeah. From a numbers standpoint, I thought even if Adu and Tobe were back, I think they should have added a post.
Yeah.
Especially when
Yes,
with
I would go
offensive
after
game.
Milicic
Yeah.
and Awaka.
But that's just old
they're not gonna do
timers
it.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
they-
too. Go after both. And I also wonder, could Milicic actually play more on the wing, more outside?
Offensively, he plays on the perimeter a lot.
Well, if you look
Yeah.
at his 3-point numbers, you think so.
That's what
Right.
I was thinking.
Right.
So could they coexist?
Yeah.
I would
Batman
think-
and Robin got along okay.
I would hope that if you found 7 or 8 guys, they
Yeah.
could all coexist. You'd have to have a roster. It can't just be 5 guys. You have to have somebody who's on the bench.
Exactly.
Though no one ever wants to be on the bench, somebody's going to have to be there at some point.
And look, this is on the
Last year may have been, I mean, if you think about it, last year you had 2 guys that came in as transfers, but you had 3 guys who'd been here year after year. You had
Yeah.
2 guys that came back for their 5th year, like COVID year. You had only two transfers. There was kind of a selfless bunch, tons of people. I don't know that that may have been the last taste of that.
Yeah.
It may be we have to get used to, oh, well, you can't sign him because he'll leave. I mean, which is kind of pathetic, which is another reason if I were Barnes, I'd be on the island.
With that Orgeron.
I give him credit for not being. That's right, that's right. Well, I wouldn't want to go to that island.
I just got back from Hilton Head. That island's pretty good.
That's pretty good. All right. Very good. When we come back, we have a lot of football to come, but we play some rapid fire next. Kim Caldwell, superstar. We'll talk transfer portal nonsense. Another nail in the NCAA's coffin. That's all next for Rapid Fire. Come on back.